Deliciously with Ara. Ngayon, we will cook good for 100 na pork bulgogi. 진짜 맛있어, 이렇게? 너무 sarap.
아예 조금 더 먹어봐요.
이렇게요?
네, 더 한번.
해보세요, 한번. 어떻게? So today, maghahanda tayo ng pork bulgogi or veggie bulgogi, good for 100 na katao. So we need a big servings of all. We have our pork or sukiyaki cut or bacon cut. This is around 8 kilograms. And we have our ingredients, vegetables such as cabbage, isang malaking cabbage like this. If you have dalawa, smaller, it can be around 2 or it can be adjusted accordingly. 1 kilograms of carrots, 2 kilograms of white onions, and half a kilogram or 500 grams of spring onions. And for our sauce, we need 1.5 cups of sugar, 2 cups of garlic, 3 tablespoons of pepper, some sesame seeds later on pang topping natin, and of course we have soy sauce, oyster sauce, our rice syrup or corn syrup, and we have our sesame oil. So this bulgogi is using our pork as our main protein source. And then before we toss all our ingredients together, maghahanda muna tayo mag-cut ng ating mga vegetables. Preferably, lahat ng mga ingredients natin is all in similar sizes and shapes para when we cook it later, medyo uniform ang ating itsura. So we'll first cut off our onions. So lahat ito, we'll just slice it all in strips. So, nag-slice na tayo ng ating onions na 2 kilograms kasi gusto ko talaga yung sweetness ng onions. Now, if you ever na gusto nyo talaga niya medyo bawasan ng konti, you can actually freely do so. But, if after cutting, ganito na dapat karami ang ating onions. And now, we'll cut our carrots. Also, same strips and almost same thickness para uniform ang itsura niya. So, ganito na karami ang ating carrots. So, now we'll cut our cabbage. Ang cabbage, we really can control the amount of vegetables na gusto nyo ihalo. But I really want maraming ring gulay because it gives us this nice crispiness of our food. But siguro, I think this cabbage is very big. I'll just use siguro mga 3/4 lang ito. So, we'll also cut strips then. So first, we'll get konti. And pwede natin siya ihalo sa ating mga carrots. So we have our cabbage. So basically, ang cabbage at ang ating carrots, pwede naman talaga siya isang container. And we'll just later on toss it together because this will be our parang ilalagay lang natin sa ating bulgogi pag almost half cooked na ang ating pork. Ngayon, next we'll cut our spring onions. If you have leeks, pwede nyo gamitin ng leeks. But if you have spring onions, you can also use spring onions. Ito, ikakat natin siya ng maliliit because this will be the one we'll add first on sauteing sa ating oil. So, maliliit ang ating paghiwa. So, kuha ko ng konti. Siguro mga 1 centimeters. So now, nakat na natin ang ating spring onions. We'll now cut our pork. We'll cut our pork into something like around 2 inches para maging bite size siya. So, ikakat natin ang ating sukiyaki cut or bacon cut ng ating karne. So finally, natapos na natin paghiwa ng ating karne, we'll make our sauce. But ang ating leeks kanina, or spring onions pala, ito ay gagamitin natin pang gawa ng parang spring onion oil. So we can just put this in our caldero before siya, kahit walang fire. Kasi dito ako gagamit magluluto ng ating sauce. So I'll just put it here lang sa ating caldero, yung malaki. And for our sauce, we need to have, the base is our toyo, our sugar, and our garlic. But yung sugar mamaya, just like how we did our beef bulgogi previously, we'll first use our sugar for our pork directly. So ngayon, ang gagawin lang natin is our toyo mixture first. So just have any local na toyo that you have in your house. Actually, maghahalo lang naman, so it's okay. So if you have a cup in your, like a drinking cup, we'll put 2 cups ng toyo. So 1. Today I just use a local soy sauce because I think I just want to fully enrich yung lasa ng alat niya. So just 2 cups of toyo. And the things you see it's floating is dahil galing sa ating spring onion siya, so it's okay, hindi siya madumi. And we'll have our oyster sauce. Ang oyster sauce siguro we just need is around 1/3 cup. 1/3 to 1/3 cup. Sa ating baso. Actually, naging 1/2, and I think 1/2 is also okay. We'll just adjust later on. Pag naging masyadong maalat, mag-adjust na lang tayo with the sugar. So, 1/2 cup ng ating oyster sauce. And then, we have here 2 cups of pounded or minced garlic or chopped garlic. So, I'll just have it already sa ating soy sauce mixture. So, 2 cups. Ang isang baso, and then haluin ko lang siya here. And then, for our pork, imamarinate ko yung 1 cup sa ating karne. Because dahil maramihan ng ating luto, I just want the flavor ng ating pork to be fully soaked in dun sa yung flavor ng garlic sa ating karne. So, 1 cup sa sauce, 1 cup here na lang sa ating karne mixture. So, we'll just have 1 cup dito, minced garlic. Actually, I really love the taste of garlic. So, you can adjust more or you can adjust less accordingly. And then just, roughly just mix up lang. And then, I'll also add here around 3 tablespoons ng pepper para lang matanggal ang malansang smell or just to boost up the lasa of our pork. So, this is around 2 tablespoons. So, 2 tablespoons ng ating pepper at haluin ko lang siya sa ating karne. And after it has been mixed up sa ating karne, we'll start doing it on our caldera na with a fire para magluto na yung ating pork bulgogi. So now, nilagay ko na yung ating leeks, maglagay tayo ng ating oil. So just enough para mag-cover ang lahat ng ating spring onions kasi what I want to do is, I want to saute it para lumabas yung scent ng ating spring onion sa oil. And then, if you can see na medyo fragrant na ang ating niluluto because yung oil galing sa spring onion, minamelt niya yung parang pinaka-flavors nila. And before, as you can see na medyo parang kumukonti na yung ating spring onion kasi di ba medyo namamatay siya sa apoy, we'll add in our pork. Tingnan ko kaya ko buhatin mag-isa. There. So we have our our spring onions and our garlic. And then, haluin ko lang siya together with the spring onion. Yung ating baboy. So, haluin lang natin ang ating baboy para we can see yung spring onions. Magiging parang mag-evenly coat siya sa ating baboy. Kasi gusto ko yung flavor ng spring onions, saka yung oil, and yung baboy, and the garlic, of course, ay parang mag-fully blend sila habang niluluto. So, haluin lang natin na haluin hanggang we can see na medyo brownish, light brownish ng ating baboy. Although, dahil maramihan ng ating luto, medyo masakit ang ating kamay, we have to always keep stirring it kasi di ba manipis ang ating karne. Ngayon, pag medyo iwan lang natin siya, if ever makukook siya, magdidikit-dikit, we'll just have one big bulk of our baboy. So, kasi ginamit natin ang sukiyaki cut or bacon cut, kailangan evenly natin na ikot-ikotin natin, if-flip natin ang ating baboy, habang hintayin natin siya magiging parang light brown. So, konting tiis na lang and we can do it. So, ngayon medyo naging konting brownish na ang ating karne. Mag-a-add na tayo ng ating sugar na 1.5 cup. So, gusto ko medyo ma-toast ang konti ang ating sugar at mag-caramelize ng konti sa ating karne bago tayo maglagay ng ating sauce. So, we'll just put our 1.5 cup ng sugar. Tapos, haluin natin ulit ang ating baboy with the sugar para mag-evenly coat and hintay lang natin siya mag-caramelize or mag-melt down ang ating sugar ng konti. So, kanina naglagay na tayo ng ating sugar at hinalo natin. Ngayon, mag-a-add tayo ng ating rice syrup or corn syrup or whatever syrup you have in your house. And then, mag-a-add tayo siguro ng 1 cup ng ating syrup. So, una is nilagay ko yung sugar kasi gusto ko muna talaga mag-breakdown ang lasa ng sugar, mag-coat siya sa ating karne. And then, ngayon, pag medyo nag-melt down na, isang syrup naman. Maraming tatanong, why do I have to daw unahin yung sugar kaysa sa mga ibang alat, mga ibang sauce? But the thing is, kasi gusto ko na medyo wala akong nilalagay na, I don't want to put our flavor na may dinadagdag tayo ng mga artificial flavorings. When we use the sugar on the right timing, nagbo-boost up siya ng lasa, ina-upgrade niya, parang bring out niya yung parang best flavor of our meat. And I think that's the best blend we can have. So, ngayon, nag-add ako ng isang cup ng corn rice syrup. At haluin ko lang siya ulit. Kahit nakakapagod, it's okay kasi di ba marami tayong pwede mabigyan ng ating masarap na luto. So habang hinalo ko ang ating isang cup ng rice syrup, ilalagay ko na ang ating ginawang soy sauce mixture kanina. Ibubuhos ko lang siya on top. Sasaluin ko lang ng sandali habang hintayin ko lang siya mag-boil. And then, at this moment, bago ko talaga siya fully mahalo, yung kanina kinat natin na onions, na sibuyas, di ba kanina, sineparate ko siya sa ating mga gulay, hindi ko siya sinama because gusto ko maglagay una ng kalahati ng ating sibuyas dito, tapos yung kalahati, hihintayin ko siya mamaya kasi gusto ko ma-retain yung crunchiness ng ating sibuyas. Pero kalahati lang muna ngayon kasi gusto ko lumabas yung katamisan ng ating onions. So, half ng ating yung kinat kanina, ilagay ko lang siya there. And then, yung iba, iwan ko lang. Tapos, haluin natin ulit. So, now we can see na medyo very cooked na ang ating onions. Ilalagay ko ng ating kanina hiniwang cabbage and carrots. The reason na why hindi ko siya nilagay kanina is kasi di ba pag maramihan ng ating luto, if we keep on adding the vegetables nung una pala, magiging para ma-overcook siya, hindi siya magandang tingnan. And so I wanted to retain the color and the crispiness of the vegetables. Also, kailangan natin isipin na pag unahin natin ang mga gulay, may lalabas na parang watery. So ayoko siya magiging parang masabaw ang ating bulgogi. Kaya ngayon ko lang siya ilahahalo, itotoss ko lang ang ating gulay sa ating kaninang mixture ng bulgogi. So hinalo ko yung ating carrots, tsaka yung cabbage. And then yung kanina natin yung onions. At haluin ko lang siya ng haluin. Medyo masakit sa kamay siguro, pero isipin na lang natin yung mga magiging masayang mukha ng mga taong bibigyan natin ng ating pagkain. Sasaya tayo at magkakaroon tayo ng lakas to do this. And I know we can. So haluin ko lang ang ating karne tsaka ng ating vegetables. And there we see yung parang vibrant na yung ating color. And then, bago ko patayin ang ating fire, tikman ko lang ng konti kasi medyo mahirap tansyahin ang lasa niya because maramihan. We'll just taste it para tingnan natin kung anong kailangan kulang na lasa pang dagdag niya ngayon. I think yung sweetness okay lang, pero gusto ko siguro magdagdag ako ng konting alat. But hindi na ako gagamit ng toyo. Rather, I'll use my patis or salt kung meron kayo. So siguro, in this case, okay lang naman yung lasa, pero gusto ko na may konting alat lang. I'll just have siguro 1 scoop nito. 1 scoop ng ating sandok ng patis. Or kung gusto nyo ng salt, gamit na lang tayo ng salt pang pahabol sa lasa na gusto natin makaroon. So around 2, dahil maramihan. And then haluin na lang natin at patayin ko na yung ating fire kasi I think luto na yung aking bulgogi. So yung amount ng gulay na gusto nyo ilagay, pwede naman kayo mag-adjust. Pero for me kasi, gusto ko talaga may karoon ng balance ng ating meal every time. May gulay, may colors ang ating balance of the color, also our karne. And hindi ko na talaga siya fully cook ang ating gulay kasi ayoko na medyo magiging sad ang itsura ng ating vegetables. I'll turn off the fire. So ngayon, patay na yung ating fire, tsaka lang tayo mag-add ng ating sesame oil. Much better na hindi tayo gagamit ng sesame oil sa fire kasi very low ang kanyang tendency sa apoy. If we just put it sa kanina, magkakaroon, yung scent na niya, yung aromatic scent ng sesame oil, it's just gonna be parang wala lang. So we just have to always use the sesame oil pag wala na tayong fire. So in this case, I'll just use around siguro 3 sandok. Just to give this parang scent of parang nutty aroma, masarap na flavor ng sesame oil. And then, mag-add ako ng sesame seed, pampadagdag lang ng bite. So, siguro that I'll just add around 2 large spoons or 2 sandok. And then, haluin ko lang siya. And this is already good to serve. Our 100, siguro mga 100 taong kataong pwedeng kumain ito. Our mass serving of pork bulgogi. So, gusto ko tikman ang aking ginawa. Let's see kung masarap nga ba. So, I'll get some vegetables in our meat. Yung kanina. There. And this is our pork bulgogi. So, let's taste it. Parang gustong-gusto ko ng kanin. It's super masarap.
Masarap!
Kaya, damuhan kuru. Wait kayo. 하고 잠깐만요. Pahinga nga kami ng isang yung isang table pa-open dito.
나무가 제일 들어갔었죠?
This is, we're here in Amante Hospital. It's a public hospital here in San Pedro kasi gusto namin ipamahagi sa mga frontliners to show our support, some kind of event, yung kanina lunchbox na ginawa natin. Kasi gusto natin isasabihin sa kanila na I hope they enjoy Korean meal even though nag-sacrifice sila in this kind of very hard crisis right now. So I want to cheer them up. Papamagay namin sa kanila na hinanda natin